Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Here we go, back again at this. Um, uh, Today we're going to be talking about the bath fraud, the conversion fraud, what happened with the converts, why did Mirza Tahir Ahmad lie about these converts? I've discussed this many times. Even now they're lying. I mean, they've been lying about converts since forever. This is nothing new for the Ahmadiyya movement to lie. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad claimed 400,000 followers. 400,000 before he died. That's ridiculous. That is just absolutely ridiculous. So let me just add a StreamYard link as we start here. Um, Give me just a sec. And we're going to talk about an Ahmadi called Zubair Ahmad. I don't really know much about the guy, but it seems like he is an Ahmadi. I haven't heard any different. So let me just post this link. So let's just see what happened the other day between Zubair Ahmad and the Ahmadis on Twitter. Noonan was there. You guys remember Noonan? So I've given this story before. Noonan converted because of a girl. The common reason is the girl. So he has another family. He never paid no child support. He's a lazy guy. You know, them lazy dudes should be always be watched because laziness is a big problem. You know, if you're a man that's lazy, doesn't want to work, you can never compare to a man who loves hard work. And I read a hadith the other day: a man who works hard all day, all his sins are forgiven, or maybe for that day, all his sins are forgiven. I don't remember exactly, but working hard, and that guy ain't never worked a day in his life. You know, he claims to be a bouncer. He says he used to be a bouncer at bro. You were the bartender. If anything, you were cleaning the bathrooms after. Knock it off. That's just what we say. Knock it off. Um, Walaikum salam, brother. Um, so okay, let me just share the screen and first let me make sure this is working. Yep, it's working. And I'm gonna just go over this, go over what happened yesterday. So here we go. Here we go. We're off to the races. We're off to the races. I click share screen, and then there that goes, and then I just go like this. I think. Okay, so here we go. Here's how it all started. Um, uh, Ibrahim Noonan. He says he's watching MTA, and how blessed are the words of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih. How fortunate are we? You're fortunate. This guy's fortunate to have a job. He'd be working at a snack bar or driving a taxi. You know, and those jobs are okay. Those are it's totally okay to do that. Those are honorable professions. There's nothing wrong in it. But when you masquerade as if he doesn't want to, he doesn't even want to do that. He couldn't do it. So he says the nur from the face of the Khalifa. Yeah, Noonan's the guy who would force his wife to go and massage the Khalifa if the Khalifa asked for that to be done, and he would go and do it too. So okay, then here's this guy, Zubair Ahmad, and I sent him a message on Twitter like, "What up?" Because I don't know what he is, but he says, "Hey, which type of truth is in the claim being 41 million new bats in India in 2001, or 200 million worldwide? You know, and now it's tens of millions." He goes, "What truth are you referring to? You know, this your Khalifa doesn't have his name on any of the paperwork for the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat International, the local Jamaat, nothing. He's not even in charge legally, but you guys are making him in charge, right?" So Noonan responds, "We've already had this discussion. Are you an Ahmadi?" So he says, if being an Ahmadi means blindly following, idolizing, glorifying those who blatantly tell lies, then he's like, then no, I'm not an Ahmadi. However, it means, so what's the definition of an Ahmadi? Is an Ahmadi someone who follows the Khalifa? These guys always talk about what's the definition of a Muslim. They want to come and argue what's the definition of a Muslim, right? But when we ask them what's the definition of an Ahmadi, they're like, oh no, this is persecution. They immediately jump to the persecution angle. All right, so then he asks him, look, he says, "Do you accept Khilafat Ahmadiyya?" And Zubair Ahmad says, "Yeah, in the same way that he accepts the initial Khalifas." So what he's saying is correct. Why are there even Khalifas? In this context, there shouldn't be any Khalifas. When the Messiah was supposed to return in Christianity and Islam, there isn't a lot of time left. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad said in the 14th century finished, and the 15th, we're in the 15th century. So that itself disproves the claim of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. There's no overtime when the Messiah returns, when the Mahdi returns. It's authentic hadith, 40 years, and it's game over, bro. It's done. We're all going home. Okay. So so then he says, "Do you accept Khilafat Ahmadiyya?" And he's like, "What? This is like all the other Khilafats. I don't really have to do any of this," is what he's saying. So I don't know if he's a rogue or what. So then he quotes chapter 24:55. Then he says, "I thought I was clear, but I'll elaborate further. Neither the initial Islamic nor the Ahmadiyya Khalifa is unconditional. If an elected Caliph does not rectify the claims of the numbers of bad, then why do you still consider him divinely appointed? He's supposed to fix things." So remember, Mirza Tahir Ahmad, there's a video of him from 1991 where he talks about the bad fraud of Mirza Nasr Ahmad. And why did Mirza Nasr Ahmad lie about conversions? Why did Mirza Nasr Ahmad claim there were 10 million Ahmadis? I'll tell you why. I know. And let me just stop share real quick, see if anyone's in the backstage. Nope, it's just me. So, okay. Why did Mirza Nasr Ahmad lie? That's pretty easy. So remember, Mirza Nasr Ahmad was telling Bhutto that Ahmadis are 10 million worldwide, just to make himself look bigger than he is, to exaggerate. And this is funny because that fellow Yahya Khan, Shamsuddin's cousin, this is all he talks about with Shamsuddin. He's like, "Oh, you're a liar." He's got that cousin beef with him, and he just hates him. He says, "Oh, we are intelligent." Him and his brothers and sisters maybe, and then he's like, "You people were the ones who couldn't read." Bro, this is a terrible attitude to have, And Yahya Khan is a terrible human, and he disproves Ahmadiyya. He proves that Ahmadiyya is false, just based on how he acts. Look at how he talks. That's all you need to look at. The contempt, the jealousy, he's pretending to be nice. He's pretending to use flowery language, but really he hates Shamsuddin. He hates all ex-Ahmadis, and the Jamaat put him up to it, and he's not going to admit to any of it. And he don't even think he's a doctor. He's like a pharmacologist. So he's not even telling his own story. He should tell his own story once, right? So, okay. Where were we? Mirza Nasr Ahmad. Yeah, he was telling Bhutto that the Ahmadis were 10 million. Come on. So there's a video of Mirza Tahir Ahmad, 1991. Look it up. It's on the blog. It's on the blog. Look it up. Okay, I posted all of this. Look up World Christian Encyclopedia and scroll down to 1991. I've archived all of this. And back to Yahya Khan and the little crew he's hanging out with. What have they written? What have they archived? What show me their body of work. Is it just videos, bro? All you guys do is do video. I just wrote a commentary on Ijaz Ahmadi, and I'm about to write some other ones inshallah I'm going to write commentary on every book of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad and his team of writers. Right? What have these guys done? Right? Yahya Khan is still stuck on. We told him, hey, look, Ikmaluddin, what's going on? He says, "Oh, he keeps trying to say that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad said that the only thing true in that book is the part that he dies there." Well, that's not true. So he says, "Nope, I've given my answer and that's it." No, that's not how it works. When you're having a conversation, you don't do that. You don't say, "Well, I gave my." This isn't a court of law, where you're trying to prove something. We're looking for answers. And if you're being dodgy, we can tell you're being dodgy. And Islam is not on the table for examination. It's not on the bubble. You are, and your claim that Isa al-Islam is Yuz Asif is on the table. So we're evaluating it. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad never said, and I'll say this again, I've said this in so many videos, Mirza Ghulam never said that. It was Maulvi Abdullah who said that. And he left Ahmadiyya. He didn't even believe that anymore. He left Ahmadiyya and became a Baha'i. That was later. But 4 years after Raz-e-Haqiqat came out, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad told his readers in Al-Huda, go and look. Go and check out this book, Ikmaluddin. He was telling people to go look at it. Well, what other parts of it are authentic? He even quoted the Eclipse story from it. So Yahya Khan, he refuses to go deeper, and he doesn't want to do it. That's the whole thing. And the rest of his crew and the rest of these Ahmadis on social media, you ask them to do the homework, they're not going to do the homework. They only want to go to the first few arguments and then quit. And then they say, no, we've given our argument. That's it. So, okay. So this is the conversation that's going on. And then Noonan says, Zubair, this is a serious position you are taking on the Khalifa. The Khalifa has addressed the issue, and yeah, he's divinely appointed. So then he says, where and when has he addressed the issue? Do we have a reference? When did the fifth Khalifa address this? He didn't. And how do you know he's divinely appointed? Well, that's Noonan's CEO. Excuse me, I got all kind of. But so why would Noonan talk bad about the guy who controls his life? He can't, right? He's financially dependent on Mirza Masroor Ahmad. So then he says, well, how do you know? He says, well, I was told. He saw the election in 1997, and he witnessed it unfold in front of his eyes. He's like, I knew it was going to happen. I totally knew. He's the guy who says he knew everything 10 years later or 5 years later. You go, yeah, I knew. He didn't say it then. Those kind of guys are weird. Like, if you ever hang out with a guy, yep, I knew that was going to happen. If you're watching a football game, oh, I predicted it. Don't be that guy. Don't be the guy who says you knew it was going to happen. Come on, man. So then Zubair Ahmed says, well, you were categorically told it was a divine appointment, or you just assumed. He says, are you assuming? So he says, no, during the Hajj in 2012, I saw the Khalifa doing Salah. Wait, so he did Hajj in 2012. That's very rare. Ahmadi mullahs don't do Hajj. He's got to be the only one that I've ever heard of who's done Hajj. So that's interesting. And then he was evolving until he found such each post. What is he even talking about? And then he says he became the Holy Prophet. This is just madness. Noonan is on that level. And all for a brown girl. He did it all for a brown girl. So then he says, well, then, Zubair Ahmed says the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was Siddiq, truthful, even before he was appointed a prophet. He would never lie and say, I got 200 million Muslims with me. Right? So then he says, oh, look, Noonan says, I've seen him. I've seen the Prophet. Noonan, you need to stop all of this, man. He says he also saw the promise. He also saw Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, the fourth Khalifa. This guy's telling he's rolling a ball of yarn up, So then he says, oh, you should try to deal with the realities. If you saw a dream, we don't know what that means. Maybe Mirza Tahir Ahmad was on top of him, and that's how he saw the dream. So we don't know. And then look, Zubair Ahmed says, hey, look, the fact is that Ahmadis are unable to explain the false Ba'ath claims to other Ahmadis or to other Ahmadis. All the explanations are poor. Right, so then Noonan keeps saying, oh, go cry. See, this is where Ahmadis prove that they're violent and the persecution's false. They start saying, we don't care. What are you gonna do? Go cry somewhere else. Oh, so this is who they really are, and this is why one of the big reasons why I left is they pretend to be people. They pretend to be someone who's peaceful, but really they're pushing their own agenda. And then, am I crying about numbers? Noonan keeps going on. Oh, these Khalifas were boasting. And Noonan says, no, they weren't boasting. They were not boasting. Like, what? Have you seen the videos, man? This guy's claiming 40 million people converted to Ahmadiyya in India. That's ludicrous. That's absolutely a lie. Look now, there's barely 7,000 Ahmadis in all of India, and half of that in Qadian. Another 33% in Kashmir. So in the rest of India, bro, there's barely anyone, bro, barely. So and then Noonan says, look, no one leaves because of this argument. Oh, so this is where it starts to get interesting. Um, so now they're like, okay, show us someone who left because of this. Why does it matter? So Amnesty will come up with these questions that don't address the issue. Again, they're doing this court thing. If they went to court, as if they got into a fight with their brothers and they went to their dad, who was the judge, and they presented their case. They didn't tell the story, like what happened from a neutral perspective. Hey, this is what it was. No, they give a slanted view. So this is what Noonan continues to say here. He keeps saying people don't leave because of this, but he won't address the issue. Why did Mirza Tahir Ahmad lie? Why did Mirza غلام Ahmad lie? Why did Mirza Nasser Ahmad lie? Right? And what's interesting about Zubair, he has a website. On that website is an article that I think I found, or maybe I found it from somewhere else. I put it on the blog for the world. So, a lot of these Ahmadis are mad I'm leading the ex-Ahmadi revolution by supplying the material. That's true. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to inspire and and inform. I'm here to inspire Ahmadis to quit Ahmadiyya and to give you information. Inspiration and information. I've said this all the time. So, okay. So now he says, bro, what about Nuzhat Tanif? Read her book. She talked about the ballyhooing of the bats. That book is amazing. They even, the Qadyani Ahmadis even made a video about her. They hated her that much. They made a video about her saying, oh, she's still single. She's atheist. This is what Ahmadiyya is. And we're going to get this information to Congress. And we're going to get this information to the United Nations and to the Senate and to whoever, the House, and to the UK. This is who these people are. They're really evil. It's a terrorist organization. So then look, Sahel Ahmad shows up. Sahel Ahmad says, hey, I'm an he's agnostic atheism or agnostic deism, whatever. It's cool, bro. Do what you got to do, man. I don't live that life, and I have a different perspective. So, but, he says he left Islam. He left Islam because of Ahmadiyya. Ahmadis lied so much, it'll leave a terrible taste in your mouth about Islam. So he's not the only one. Ahmadis have made Muslims murtad for 120 years. So be very careful. They're coming for your children in all Muslim societies, and they're basically turning your children into atheists. And in America, there's nothing we can do. Ahmadis are going that route, and it's whatever. It's okay. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't. Even in the Quran, it talks about this phenomenon. So Sahel says, he says he went through this. He's like, I eventually stepped away because the fourth Khalifa is a liar. He lied about all kinds of stuff, and the icing on the cake is when he lied about the bats. He just lied, just like the current Khalifa lies about everything too. Talib Ahmad was recently murdered. We don't know if he was murdered. We don't know what happened, right? This is Ahmadiyya sources, and they can manipulate a source from Ghana. We didn't talk to anyone in Ghana. We didn't talk to the police department. They won't talk to us, and it's hard to get in touch. So we got to take what they're saying, and these are confirmed liars. So why should we take anything they say, especially what they lied about the bat? So me and Sahel Hamid have had an interesting. He doesn't like me, period, because I'm Muslim. I've tried to be cool with him so many times. He's banned me from his forum like 10, 20 times. But he knows I use information from there. And he knows how much people quote my blog on there. I was just on there the other day. I was just surprised because I don't even know a lot of these people. But I just put the information out. And, it's academic work. It's also... there are some things that aren't confirmed yet that we're working on, so there's a variety of information there, a variety. So he starts saying, what your Khalifa like, and you know what? Let me just take a quick break and check the back chat, see if anyone's here. Nope, I'm the only one here. See if we got some comments. Yep, Assalamu alaikum. Yep, I'm gonna have to, inshallah, brother, inshallah. So okay, let me go back to where I was. I'm up to like 20 minutes. Trying to end this quick. Got a busy day. Okay, so here we go. So he talks about, hey, the fifth Khalifa, they should be smarter. They were duped to believe that 200 million people joined the Qadyani Ahmadis. How stupid is that? You honestly believed that 200 million people were part of your community. That's 2/3 the population of America, and America is like the fifth most populous country in the world, I think, if not the third. I think it's the third. Yeah, so it's like you're absolutely out of your mind to even talk about those numbers. Um, but they did it. Why? Because Mirza Tahir Ahmad was dying of cancer, probably, and he wanted to. They wanted to make him think he was victorious before he died. So he made this all up. Silliness, man. So what else is he lying about? So okay, and then Sahel just keeps going on about it. He's like, look, uh, I left. This was an issue. The Jamaat wouldn't clean it up, and then here comes Noonan again, um, right? And Noonan just doesn't make any sense, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care if he makes sense or not. He has a job for life, and that's what he's on about. Look, the lack of real ownership. He says it again. The lack of a public explanation. On top of that, theological implications of such a long-running blunder. Mirza Tahir Ahmad says his God is talking to him every day. Why didn't he clarify this? So a lot of issues here. Um, yeah, every explanation that they give is wrong, and so this is what Yahya Khan can't understand either. Every time he gives an answer, we come up here. Here's the problems with your answer. He's like, nope, I'm not. I'm not going to go any deeper. So it's the same thing. Then Noonan says, well, all people have to do is believe in Muhammad and Allah, and that's it. That's like I have a bunch of aunties and uncles that are like that. And Noonan is like, just leave them there. Don't go investigating. Don't go looking around. Because if you go looking around, they know you're gonna leave. So he's like, that's just it. Um, so then look, all of a sudden on Sahel's Islam Ahmadiyya Reddit forum, look. So now Sahel Ahmed has maybe accused me of conspiracy. Brother, nothing I've ever written has got to do with conspiracy. All these stories are true. They are all true. It's hard to believe. Just like it was hard to believe Lance Armstrong was defrauding Tour de France. And every Tour de France knew about it. It was hard to believe Major League Baseball was in on the steroid controversy. But it's true. So Sahel Ahmed says, yeah, Zia prophecy, it was either a coincidence or collusion. Well, this is what I've been saying. The CIA and FBI had Zia al-Haq killed. And Mirza Tahir Ahmad knew it was going to happen. And there was an Ahmadi in the FBI in those days. And Ahmadis were in the Secret Service of Pakistan in those days. And they might have been, it was on a C-130 that could you could remote detonate a C-130. Easy. You got remote controls in your house in the 80s? Easy. Right? The government had something 10 times stronger than that remote control that goes 10 feet to the TV. So Sahel Ahmed's now he's scratching his head. Hey, maybe he's in with the government. Of course he's in with the government. I've been saying that. Mirza Tahir Ahmad, the reason he passed Ordinance 20 was because he was in with the UK, America, Zia, and he says, get me out of Pakistan. Well, they're like, the only way is political asylum. You got to stage a situation. So he stages it, and then that's how he got out. He could have went to India. Why not go to India? So then Sahel's like, yeah, man. And then he explains himself. So cool, bro. I've always wanted to work with the guy, even though we might have our religious differences, but I'm easy to get along with. It doesn't bother me that people believe in evolution or out of Africa theory, whatever, bro. Believe whatever you want. If you want to listen to the things that I found, some of the irregularities, let me know. All right. So then this whole conversation happens. He says, hey, and look, these guys don't want to talk to him. They don't want to continue the conversation. So, all right, let me stop share. Okay, and I'm back. Oh, who is this? A based Islamist? All right, I can't add you because your devices are not connected. Oh, I think he's in the private chat. Okay, so let's see if he's there. He might have left. I'll give him a few minutes and then I'll wrap this up. Okay, so that's it. Peace out.